Well, good morning. Just getting set up here. I am in Daydreams. There we go. And if you've been following along, we worked on Kitty last time. Now I went ahead and did some on this page because what I want to show you this time is the gems. And if there's time at the end, I will also go around and show you a little bit how I did that and on darkening just the corners. Sometimes I like to darken a corner just to draw your eye back out. So, without further ado, I have grabbed a bunch of different Prismacolor pencils. And once again, these are from the 72 count set. All right. So when you're doing the gems, there is no real rule on where your colors go. I did a lot of looking up, and it's like, well, if the light's shining here, then it goes there, and just all different kinds of stuff. So most colorists are just coloring the gems however they want when they're in different shapes like this. Now when it's a circle, just an oval, then the light comes from the top. There's going to be like a white spot, then dark, and the lighter is at the bottom because it's reflecting through. But that's something totally different than what we're doing here. So I am going to go through and just grab a couple colors. I am grabbing 992, which is light aqua, and 905, which is aquamarine. Doing the gems really is fairly easy. So I kind of do it like when I'm doing other things for the light. Just look, where do you think it's going to be lightest? If my light's coming from here, it's going to be a little darker on the base and lighter as it comes up. Some of these you can even make where it runs into just white. Okay? So don't make this difficult. Just get some color in there and then softly blend it out. Okay? I did not even bring a white pencil in here because I know that that would actually dull my colors. Okay? Then I'm going to get lighter as I come up, darker at the base, lighter as I come up. And if you'll use a light touch, you can get that to go to nothing. Okay, it'll go absolutely down to no color at all. And then here I'm going to start dark and go down to light, just to change it up. Again, there's not a whole lot of rules that I'm finding on gemstones. Now watch, somebody will come up with something and leave a link. And if you do, that's fine. Kudos. Thank you. I am coloring for fun on this page. So to me, it really doesn't matter that much. I mean, we don't see a kitty sitting with all this on doing what's happening on this page anyway. All right, so after I've got that done, then I'm going to change over to the other pencil, to my darker. And I'm going to do a few of these so that you actually have some reference. And then I will go back over to the other page, or you can look at it at the very first of the video and just hit pause. Even do a screenshot, not a screenshot, a shot of it with your phone, and then you'll have something to reference to if you're trying to match and color along. Because I know a few of you are, and that's cool. So just getting some of those colors in there, just a little. See, I'm hitting the paper and lifting. That's really doing the blending for me. Now I also brought in my new Posca pencil or pens. I got all these fat ones when they were on sale at Michael's a couple of weeks ago. They had like a 2 for $6 or something. Okay, so I've used these two. I'm going to put them aside. I'm going to go over to a red colored or an orange one. So just regular old orange, $9.18, and then $9.92. I want to say it's poppy. I don't remember for sure, but it's a color I like. And then I'm also going to grab pale vermilion, $9.21. That's going to go with my orange. And then with my poppy, I'm going to use $9.25. So I've pulled enough here for 2. The reason I've pulled for 2 is these are both in the red-orange family, right? So I don't want to do them right next to each other. So here's where your planning comes in a little. I'm going to do one up here at the top and then one down at the bottom so that those are staggered. Make sense? I don't want to do them right next to each other. I want to actually pull them apart some. I'm actually going to do this one right here first. And because the paw is right there, I'm going to choose that that's where I'm doing the lightest. And this is, I believe, poppy red, but I'm not sure though, just poppy, $9.22. So, and yes, I do have one of these pencils in backup, but I'm really trying to use up some of my pencils. And it's hard to go to white when you're using a color like this. So just go to as light as you can. Make one side a little darker. Let it fade out. It's easier with a small pencil like this because I can't put a lot of pressure unless I do this. So back on the pencil is going to help you keep that light touch. Most of you that have followed me for a while know that I am heavy-handed, so it is very easy for me to get dark quick. So I have to hold my pencils back a little bit so that I can keep that lighter touch. And then on these, I'm going to do lighter at the bottom, dark at the top, just to add that variety. So don't make gems hard, okay? Just play with where you put your lights and your darks. And you could even leave some of these in white. I'm just showing you how I'm doing it to add some variety. You could even do some of these solid. Okay, you saw how I did this one. Part of those are actually almost totally solid. Now's where you're going to get into where light hits. So I am going to barely tip just the edge. It's just going to add more variety to the picture. Because I do want some lights and darks in here. Hannah did a really good job in drawing out these gems and making sure that everything was fairly even on them, which makes it even easier to color. Okay, then around this way, let's do the bottom just a little darker and come up lighter at the top. Again, don't make it real hard. Just light touch. And then on the other page, I did come back with the Posca pens and I added some dots just to make it a little more playful. Okay, now I'm coming in with that 925 Crimson Lake, and I'm going to come in the dark areas and make it a little bit darker. And the reason I didn't do the purple all up around here yet is because I didn't want to accidentally get into that purple when I was coloring and drag it into my picture. Okay, that's why I saved that. Just dragging some color up. And for y'all that commented on the last video, thank you for your understanding and your prayers. Not last night. I woke up at, this is Friday for me. We get our granddaughter this afternoon after nap from school. She's 2.5. I woke up at 5 this morning. Yeah, I couldn't go back to sleep. But anyway, I wanted to tell you that night before last, I got over 10 hours of sleep. So I had a really good day yesterday. I am feeling so much better. So for my little prayer warriors out there, thank you. I felt it. Doing just so much better. Mother-in-law and her husband are still without hot water right now because they ended up, after we got them home, found out they had a hot water leak. So it's been one thing and another for them, but they're doing okay. And I think they're supposed to get their water back today, the hot water. So they've got cold water, just not hot. And the new care receiver came on Wednesday, and we got to meet her, and we really like her. So everything is going pretty good. So by the time you see this, things should be back to semi-normal. So notice on this one, I left more white in here just for reflective light, just to try to leave a little bit of interest. All right, so there's that one. Now I was going to do an orange one. So I am going to go down and do the pale vermilion first, 921. And let's just move to, let's do this one. Now I'm rethinking because I'm like on the body, light on light. Maybe I should go down here and do next to the purple because that would show up better. Okay, so again, I'm going to go darker on what would be the base, that base area. Just get a little bit of color going in there. Leave yourself some light just in different areas just to give it some interest. Then I'm going to put this one all the way. And then that's going to be the purple background. See, I did top and bottom on this one and left a little in the middle just to change it up, okay? Like I said, there's not just a whole lot of rules that I could find on gemstones. And I know there will be that person that tries to prove, and that's fine. If you find a link, feel free to post it. But I don't know that there's something specific that shows how each gemstone that we're doing reflects light. Just think about maybe where the light's coming from and go from there. And see, these are more on the bottom, so I'm going to do them a little fuller. Just get some color on your stones. Because basically, as long as you have some lights and darks, you should be okay. Just scatter it around. And see, even if there is a site that tells you, is it considering where something else is maybe shading it, which would also change where your lights and darks are. So there's just so many things to take into consideration. Now I'm going over to orange. It is 918, and I'm going to come up from the bottom, down from the top. See how that's already just added a little bit of interest there? I did start doing the little bits across the bottom in front of the cat. These, I don't know if that's in screen for you or not. I did them with the Posca pens, and then I outlined them in the white, really fine tip Posca, just to, and you could probably use gel pens just as easy, but I did the outlining just to make them pop a little bit. I didn't want that black. I rather have the white, and that, y'all, is just personal preference. So whatever you would like on that. There we go. And see, now you've got lights and darks, and you can just play with your colors. No rule of thumb on what has to be what color. Again, we're just making sure that we don't have same colors together. Now, what other colors could I use? I have pulled, let's see, I pulled a couple of purples and blues. So I'm not going to do them all, but I want to make sure that I have time to tell you what colors before the video's up, because that's the whole reason for using the 72 count. So violet, which is violet, which is 932, and I paired it up with my lilac, which is 956, and that one actually ended up looking like this. Okay, so I paired those. Then I pulled these two, and I've not used them yet, but I was going to pair up 904, which is light cerulean, and Copenhagen blue, which is 906. Then I paired up, I believe I pulled 1004 yellow chartreuse to go with spring green, which is 913. And then I did actually do this green is chartreuse 989 with olive green 911. Yeah, I know, but you can push pause and go back and get those numbers. And then this one up here is kind of a brown, and it is goldenrod 1034 with burnt ochre 943. My background, because I know somebody's asking, I did violet blue 933 with indigo, which is 901. And let me show you that real quick. So there you can see I outlined them with the white. But as you come down, let me move this. I've already done some here, but I don't know that it shows up enough yet. Come in here with your darker shade and just really deepen it up. And I can tell I have done to like here with it, but the blending is such that you really can't. You can't tell where one starts and the other one stops too much, which is what we want. But see, by doing this corner darker, it kind of frames out the picture. Okay, so if I back up, you can see the difference in the top and the bottom. So let's do the top, because I haven't done any up here yet. So I go down however far I want, and underneath my page is one of those Dollar Tree smoky colored cutting mats. They come in a 2-pack for $1.25. Yeah, Dollar Tree went up. Kind of can't blame them. Everybody else has gone up, so the fact that they went up $0.25 on these is not going to hurt any of us. And then just blend it out. Okay? And that is now going to bring some interest to the corners. Now I don't do this inside corner because this is a 2-page spread. So what I would do is do the corners over here. But as you see, I've got a lot of blue to do yet, or the purple rather. So, all right, the pens, you can see where I just did some little dot accents on there. I just thought that that would bring a little bit more interest. And the stars I did in the yellow. Now, because I was coloring over the top of all this when I did the background, I did come in and lay down a layer of white so that my yellow would show up. So then when I come in and put my stars in, I'm going over white instead of over purple. Okay? So if you find that you colored over the top and you're using the Posca pens, go ahead and go back over them with white, and then they will show up like that. Let's see, what else can I show you? I did go through, because I had gone over some of this in the purple, I went back through and just touched it up with the white pen. Okay, how do I know where I'm going to put the dots? And I may not do it on all of them because I am limited on what pens I have. But just pick an area and go up. And then here I might do a corner and one. You know, every now and then just change it up some. And that's it. Yeah, these pens are very addicting. Okay, and this one happens to be the 1.3 or 0.9. Depends on which reading you're taking. Now for the outlining of those little white bits down here, I did use a 0.7 white. And it's already getting kind of gunky on the end, so I may have to have another one of those. But anyway, that's basically it. Just keep addressing your gems. I don't have an orange pen, so I may end up getting one. I don't know. Maybe I should have bought a whole set, but I really wanted this olive color, so that's one reason I picked which colors I wanted instead of getting the set. So anyway, let's see, is there anything else? I think that's basically going to be it. You know, you can just finish off the page from here. Let me just grab, if I can stay out of what's wet. So I'm grabbing that 1004. Because this stone is a little different. And I'm going to go deeper here in the middle. And then this, the whole thing, because it's down on the bottom. Down on the bottom, coming up. Coming up. And see, these don't have to take that long. This one's 913. I'm going to come out. This one I'm going to come out a little less, so I want this one to come further. All right. Not too hard, right? This back here will be the purple. And because this one's on top, I can very easily have this coming down also. Oops, there goes my timer. So that lets me know our time is almost up for this morning. I hope you have a good rest of the weekend. And just enjoy the weather and such. Now, this pen I tried before on there, and it didn't look real good. So I went to my darker one. And the only thing is, on here, it tends to look black. And see, I'm just going at it. There's not a particular rule. Just have some fun. I'm going down here a little further just to help bring its shape back in. And that's it, okay? So y'all have fun with this. Again, if you need to pause and look, that shows how I did some of the shading. And then over here, and I just use my Posca pens for all these, and I'll keep doing that all the way across, and then outlining in white. And I don't know what I'm going to do on the crown and the middle section here yet. I'll probably use some sort of golds or metallics or something on that. Okay? Thanks for stopping in. Thumbs up, comments. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.